All right, yeah, we back, everybody. Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's your boy, that one dude, and today we're gonna be reacting to a video of the media being wrong about the Lakers for 5 minutes straight. Now, I know the NBA season's over and it's about to start back. That's kind of crazy though, but definitely since the season is over with, I already know how everybody feel about it. But as a LeBron James fan, what I'm saying, this probably is going to be a video that I'm going to thoroughly enjoy, only because they was constantly like getting at them, getting at them, and there was just so much doubt. And for me, if it's somebody you don't bet against, is LeBron James, right? I mean, he's proven it time after time after time, year after year after year. I mean, of course, he hasn't won it all, and that's probably like his biggest thing against him. That he's been to so many finals he didn't win, which that should just be like, you made it to the finals at least. But you know what I'm saying? So, you know, uh, I'm really interested to hear what they got to say and see how it go, man. I really just like to hear it because hindsight is 2020, but like not for me. I was all in the whole season, even when they lost that first big game. They lost the Christmas game. I'm like, well, that was just first day game. I mean, LeBron always turns it up in the playoffs. So if they were just losing by a little bit, like, come on. No, I think the first day they had blew out, and then Christmas Day came back. I think it was the first game. I think they got blew out, and then Christmas Day they came back and beat the Lakers. And I'm like, yeah, if the game is like this in the playoffs, LeBron James is turning it up, and they already got it. And that was my view for the whole time. But let's just go ahead and see what they got to say, because the playoffs been super crazy. It was like, this team is going to be tough for the Lakers. I don't think they're going to beat them. They beat them in 5. This team is going to be tough. They beat them in 5. This team is going to be tough. Well, they were like, well, this team could give them some problems, yada, yada, yada. And then it became the finals like, well, it's not even a competition. So, you know what I'm saying? So, you can tell the bias the biasness there the whole time when it's saying like, hey, the Lakers are in trouble, yada yada yada, and then eventually say, well, they didn't really play any good teams. I don't really know what's the deal. So let's just get into it.
All right, so let's go ahead and start this off. Yeah, yeah. All right, so let's just go ahead and start it off. I mean, look at Stephen A. Smith's face. I can already see it right now, and you really don't really know what he's about to say. I'm not sure if he's just like looking at Max because Max talking some stuff. You know what I'm saying, or whatever the case is. Look at the face, boy. Look at the deadness. he look at Max straight in his face. I don't know what he said though. Well, let's go. Let's get it though.
If you get there and they're in the doldrums, right? Like they're in the basement when you get there. And you deliver a title to Los Angeles. I'm not saying they're ever going to argue you over Kobe, because they got that Kobe love. He was there his whole
Yeah,
career.
that's true. That's true. Come on, man. Kobe is LA.
Like
Especially now that he died. Come on, bro.
They're going to add on all the stuff he did before they got there, because he delivered one for them and argue to the death for him. So I say yes. LeBron will win a chip in LA. He's got 3 years after this one to do it. Cap space, decent young ascending nucleus. And when he does, he will be a Lakers legend.
He is a Lakers legend.
The answer is no. LeBron won't be a Lakers legend because he won't win a championship in LA. That is my belief.
Oh! Hold on! Boy, this video did not age well. Come on.
They might have a chance to beat the Lakers.
If the Portland Trail Blazers get in the playoffs, they will beat the Los Angeles Lakers in the first round.
I am picking Portland to beat the Lakers.
Hold on. Come on, man. I like how they put the little kid voices on them. You know what I'm saying? For one, because they're wrong. But for two, I mean, for like copyright purposes, I've been noticing that if you watch some of these official things and like some ESPN channels or something like that, they change the voices up a little bit so they don't get like the copyright strikes and all that stuff. So yeah. That's how you supposed to do it, but I like how they put the little kid voice on, because these motherfuckers wrong. Hey, wrong, boy, they straight up wrong out here.
The Lakers cannot
I
defend
like
the three.
Colin Cowherd too,
Denver
man.
shot 57% on threes, did not miss any in the fourth. Denver's backups did not miss any in the fourth. If you can't shoot the three and you can't defend the three, you can't beat Portland.
If you can make shots and you have elite guard play, you can beat the Lakers. I am very, very worried about the Los Angeles Lakers in the first round if they play the Portland Trailblazers. I'm not going to go as far as to say it's a foregone conclusion they'll lose, but they could. And here's the prediction I will make. That particular series would go
Warriors.
7 games.
And Steph and Clay is definitely a better backcourt than Dame and CJ. Come on.
That even though Anthony Davis and LeBron are two of the league's best players, that they still think they're going to have some defensive issues, and they still think overall they don't have the firepower in a loaded Western
Brian. Come on, Brian's our guy.
Obviously, with LeBron and AD, that's as good of a 1-2 punch as you can find in the league. But I think they do have a lot of flaws on their roster. And
they do.
Even
we got
with
Danny
those
Green
guys at the top end. I think when they get in the playoff series against, say, the other team in LA or some of the other top teams in the West, I think those flaws are going to be very difficult for them to overcome in the Western Conference playoffs.
Is it not more likely that the Lakers miss the playoffs than win a championship? I think that.
Wait, this
feel
year?
That way right now. This year.
What? Hey, hold on, man. They said it's more likely that the Lakers, as the 1 seed, miss the playoffs than win the championship. Like, come on, bro. Like, these are probably some of the worst takes ever. And the fact that these people just get to talk like this and like, hey, and consider themselves like media professionals or sports professional analysts and stuff like that. Like, I get it. Okay, the Clippers was showing pretty good. They had depth on paper. They was really good. Think about Detroit Pistons back in the day. They was not as good on paper, but they won. I'm talking about Detroit Pistons with Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace, Rip Hamilton. Like, that Detroit Pistons was not as good on paper until after they won, and they was like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? But like, look at this. The on paper doesn't really always go out there. And then think about it. Like I said, LeBron James turns it up in the playoffs, and he just do unbelievable things, especially if he's ever in a unfavorable situation like a Golden State. You know what I'm saying? You playing against Golden State, and then he's really just balling out of his life. And now he have Anthony Davis. He have some other players to just do whatever they got to do. And you really, on that Lakers team, you literally just need one person off the bench to do good. It doesn't matter who. You really just need one person off the bench to do really good. Everybody else can be radical, and you'll do good. So I don't understand how that was a big deal. I mean, it's easy for me to say that now, but I've been preaching the same thing forever.
The odds are better that they miss the playoffs than they win the championship.
I would say so, yes.
I don't buy the Lakers as hard.
I hope he's not a betting
right now. I don't think they have enough pieces.
I hope he wasn't a betting man. He probably lost a lot of money
to make it work at the level we're used to seeing LeBron win at. I just don't think the Lakers are going to get to that point this year. Maybe for the rest of LeBron's career, going back to the finals year after year after year.
Which team in LA would you think, Draymond, based on your experience?
Come on, man. I can tell he about to say the wrong thing, but like Draymond usually supports LeBron in all these things.
Who thinks to win the West this year? The Clippers. Clippers over the Lakers.
Yeah. Clippers or Lakers?
Why would KD? I mean, I know why KD would say that, right? You know why he would say that, but like, as a ball player, some of these ball players, I don't like when they say that because some of these ball players really can't fall into the trap of like the sports media analysts and stuff like that. You'll see all these people like, oh yeah, on paper this should be good, but like as a ball player, you should know like some of these things you just can't even measure of like inside the game. Like you look at the rosters and you like, hey, these things are not adding up, right? You're looking at like, hey, the points is not adding up to what the roster should say on paper. But that's what a ball, especially somebody like KD. But KD's is, I don't want to throw no shade at him, but like KD is just KD. He's a scorer. Before he got with the Warriors, he wasn't like this defensive person, and he was able to use more energy on defense and take that role because the Warriors was kind of small. Also, I mean, they were just so much better than everybody. So it was just like, come on, man. When you got a good team, you can do more. Like, look at LeBron James in Cleveland. He ain't have that team wasn't as good, and LeBron James didn't play defense like that. First year in the Lakers, he didn't play defense like that because the requirements are different. Look at Kawhi. Kawhi is renowned as the defensive guy, right? Kawhi is like, oh man, you want to stop somebody? Pick Kawhi on Paul George, right? And then you get to the playoffs, and I mean, Luka just scoring when he want to score. Jamal Murray scoring when he want to score, and then you're looking like, hey, yo, where's these all defensive players that, you know what I'm saying, that they have? So that kind of messed me up when KD said that, because you would think like a high level player really should understand, like, hey, sometimes you can't even measure things. Sometimes you don't even see it. It's on paper, but it ain't what it is. I mean, think of playoff Rondo, right? You look at Rondo's stats on the paper, and you like, man, I don't know how he's scoring like this, but hey, it is what it is.
Okay, Clippers.
Why?
I think their pieces fit together a little bit better.
Clippers, on the other hand, have a team that completely bought in last year with no superstars.
He's been going with the Clippers the whole year.
Superstars, the game that go both ways.
Stephen Jackson been going with the Lakers. Shout out to Stephen A. I should say Stephen A. Stephen Jackson.
The Clippers not only have the best defensive versatility in the league, yes, the Lakers have a height advantage, but the three-point shooting of the Clippers with Lou Will and Trez on the floor, the Clippers are the best team in basketball.
The Clippers, because of their depth, because of their versatility, especially
Kawhi balled out. He did.
6'2" to 6'9", they got the most of them in
he
the
came
NBA
up short when it mattered, but he was balling.
The Clippers are loaded, and this is gonna
look
be
at
like
KP. I know he's just waiting to say some stuff right now.
They're disruptive defensively. They're the best team in the league.
Jay Will, he gets me mad a little bit every time. He always
the Clippers are my choice.
Some of these older people have a LeBron James.
I believe in my friend Doc Rivers. I believe he will figure out who that person is, even if they have to make a move. And so I'm gonna say the Clippers. That team defensively is gonna be great.
Great. I mean,
very great.
All time.
Historic.
Paul Pierce,
right?
Get out of here, bro. I don't respect nothing you say.
And what you said about the Clippers, who's going to organize them on the road, I have reservations about LeBron being the closer in the second.
Oh, that was Michael Wilbon saying that. I thought that was Paul Pierce.
That's why I can't go with the Lakers.
When you look at the Clippers, top to bottom.
Oh,
coaching,
my God.
Starter, perimeter, superstars, their depth.
Damn, he sounds like Kevin Hart.
If you remember,
he sounds like Kevin Hart right now.
13 points, and we thought the Lakers would run away, but then here come the Clippers, the bench. They just wear you down over the course of 48 minutes. And I just see in no scenario the Lakers beating them in the series.
Yeah. Hold on, man. All right, yeah. So definitely, you can look at that and you can tell that people, they didn't have what they were supposed to have. They just talking. They don't really have a sense of the game. They just looking off stats, and then you can see just like most of these people are just running with it. Like, oh, everybody's saying the Clippers is the best. Well, then the Clippers is the best. And you know, for some people that shouldn't have biases, right? If that's your job to just talk about sports, and then you're supposed to talk about it the right way. Like, you don't supposed to have a team, right? You don't supposed to say, hey, this is my team and they're going to win. I mean, you do have a team and you say you're going to win, but like, this is my team and I think this is what's going to happen. Like, you shouldn't have that as a sports analyst. You need to separate your personal life from your regular life, because like, you gotta just call these games just how you see them, man. And like, Lakers was the #1 seed in the West for a reason, and then everybody else they just shitted on them every chance. They just like, hey, this team can beat them, this team can beat them, this team can beat them. Like, you don't just get to be #1 if everybody can beat you. Now, there are cases where people can beat you. I mean, shout out to the East. You know what I'm saying? Miami and Giannis, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, it can happen. But, come on, bro. Y'all ever thought that LeBron James was going to get swept in the first round of the playoffs? Really? And he haven't even been showing signs of like getting old. Like, yes, he's getting older. He could definitely tell. Like, Like if you look at some of the games, he's pacing himself more. You know what I'm saying? He's not constantly blowing out. But like you could tell that he brings it every night just the right amount. And man, why my hair looking like Thanos over here, boy? Thanos over here snapping me away right now. But yeah, you could tell these things. So I don't respect people like that. You know what I'm saying? Just talking just to be talking. But other than that, hey man, y'all already know, man. I know the NBA season over with. I just really wanted to get this video out here because it's been a while. And y'all already know, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me who had the worst take, in your opinion, of this video. Or if somebody said something that ain't even put in this video, right? Because, don't piss Skip. Don't piss Skip Bayless, because Skip always have the worst takes. But, yeah. Tell me who has the worst take on the Lakers last year. Let me know. Other than that, I'm out. Link in the description to the video so y'all can go ahead and check it out. And as always, y'all already know the vibes. Peace.